Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Excellence Through Quality Improvement Project webinar. We're going to go through in detail what the next phase of E-QIP looks like and how you can hopefully get involved. If you're having trouble at any point viewing the screen, or if the audio cuts out, please let us know in the chat box and we'll do our best to restore things for you. I was going to say, if you can't hear me, let me know, but if you can't hear me, you can't let me know. So hopefully you can. As far as our agenda today, we're going to cover a number of things. We're going to talk about the project, what you can expect over the next year and a half. We're going to spend a few minutes introducing you to the E-QIP team, who are actually all with us today in the room here in Toronto, which is very exciting. We'll talk about the coaching application, how to fill out that application, and our priority areas for coaching, and what you can expect if you do decide to apply for coaching and receive that service. We'll also talk very briefly about some of the successes from the round one coaching from E-QIP, just to maybe highlight a little bit what it looks like on the ground when folks participate. So I'll start with introducing myself. My name is Michael. I've been with E-QIP since its inception, and I'm Director of Quality Improvement at Canadian Mental Health Association Ontario Division, and very happy to be continuing to be a part of this project.
Good morning, I'm Debbie Bang, and I'm the Co-Director of Quality Improvement at Addictions and Mental Health Ontario, and co-directing with Mike. I'm a newbie to the process. I just started on December 5th. So I was involved with the advisory board prior to that. So very excited to be here, and we'd like to introduce our team to you as well.
Hi, I'm Jenna Hitchcock. I'm Program Manager for E-QIP.
Hi, good morning. My name is Ashley. I'm the Program Coordinator for E-QIP.
Good morning. This is Laura Bailey-Trache. I'm one of the QI coaches, and I come from CMHA Nipissing in North Bay.
Hello, I'm Kim Elke. I'm another QI coach, and I originate from CMHA Kenora branch.
Hello, I'm Nicole Adkin. I am also a QI coach, and my home branch is Connects Ontario.
Hi, I am Abel. I'm a data coach, and I'm from Toronto as well.
Hi, my name is Anna Magimba. I'm a data coach, and I come from Cambridge.
So as you can see, we've got the QI and Data Dream Team assembled for you. So we're very, very lucky to have these folks with us for this round of E-QIP. Each one of our team members brings a unique skill set and background to really help make the support that we offer hopefully very useful to you. I forgot to mention at the outset too, all of the slides from today's presentation as well as the application forms are in the attachment drop-down on your GoToWebinar menu there. So you should have the 3 attachments. So a little bit of history about E-QIP. Going back to 2016, we did a survey of the sector to really look at where folks stood in terms of their quality improvement and data readiness, and how that was working for community mental health and addiction. And probably not surprising to most of us, we found that not only has the sector been very under-resourced, but I guess the availability and use of data is a significant challenge for folks in the sector, with only 56% of responding agencies indicating that they actually had access to data to do quality improvement or to plan improvements. So probably not surprising for anybody who works in the sector that data really is a challenge. What we also found was, among other things, that less than a quarter of agencies who responded said they had a model and methods for doing quality improvement work. So if folks were lucky enough to have access to meaningful data, we didn't yet have, across the entire sector, tools and skills and the ability to do quality improvement work with that data. So this has been the genesis for E-QIP and why we're here really to support you, to try and hopefully improve as a sector together in this area. E-QIP also came out of the, I think, shared recognition across healthcare and across community mental health and addictions, that where we really want to get to is this quadruple aim. This is why we're all doing the work that we're doing, I think. We want to provide the best quality of service and care for folks who come to us every day for our services. Hopefully that's going to help our population be healthier and happier and need us less in the future. Also recognize that to do that, we have to support the folks and the staff who deliver services, because it's not an easy line of work to be in. I think we all can recognize that. Similarly, we know that money is always tight for community mental health and addiction, so we're constantly trying to look at how we can use the funds we do have most efficiently and effectively to try and support our clients and their families. To try and achieve that quadruple aim, we often hear about and talk about the domains of quality. And that's really the things that are important to clients and families when they come to us for service. Obviously, we want services to be safe, timely, effective, client-centered, equitable, and integrated. And to do that, to try and improve and constantly move the mark in those areas, we employ quality improvement methodology and tools. So constantly being curious about how well we're doing, how safe, how timely, how equitable are our services, and can we make those better? And it's really in that first area, that area to the left, that model for improvement, where E-QIP operates, continually trying to support you as a sector to make improvements and make changes to improve in those domains. And we're really here as your coaches and resources to hopefully help you do that a little bit easier. So for folks who may be familiar with E-QIP from the first round over the last almost 2 years, but for also folks who are new, I'll just briefly recap what it is that E-QIP is. So we're the first partnership project of its kind in the community mental health and addiction sector, really built out of a recognition that we do great work as a sector. We're very client-centered, and in that we always want to get better and do our best. And we're here again to try and support that. We've come together with Health Quality Ontario, and it's a three-way partnership: Health Quality Ontario, CMHA Ontario, and Addictions and Mental Health Ontario. But we've come together for really a unique partnership to try and offer resources to the sector to do that. We've been offering up until this point a number of resources and offerings, including but not limited to data and quality improvement coaching. We coached 30 agencies over the last year. We also have been offering a number of educational and training offerings, such as the Introduction to Ideas. It's sort of a Quality Improvement 101 training offering, as well as leadership training, monthly webinars, as well as access to the Advanced Learning program through Ideas, and self-learning platforms through the Institute for Healthcare Improvement. And we nest all of our offerings in our collaborative community of practice, which we're very happy. I think approximately 400 folks across the sector have joined that community of practice. And that's really our hub of quality improvement resources, conversation, and highlighting of promising and innovative practices. So that's a little bit about the history, and it's off of this success and these offerings that we're building this new round of E-QIP, which will extend until March 31st, 2019. So I'll let Debbie fill you in a little more on the details of what we'll be offering.
So good morning, everyone. The intention for this time around, and we have begun, we're hoping to have applications in by January 19th, which, if I can remind you, is next Friday. And we will be working on a system of 2 cohorts, the first cohort finishing sort of latter summer, and the second cohort beginning sort of late summer, early fall, and finishing up in March 2019. So the intention is to work with people in a couple of different ways, as we did with E-QIP 101. We will be offering 20 opportunities for people to be coached in both cohorts, so 40 altogether. We'll be offering groups ability to do some general coaching for those who don't feel like they're at a place where they're ready to implement a project and are still trying to sort through what this word means and that word means and how I pull my data and what do I do with it when I've got it. So we will be offering some of that general coaching. And this time around, we'd like to do some what we're referring to as network coaching. So in regions or areas or where groups are working on the same content, we would like to be able to join some of those groups together with the intention that they will then have the opportunity to learn from one another, some synergy, to share tools, and a lot of that we'll be doing over the community of practice so that we can actively work with one another in a shared space and be able to talk about how our activities are going, how our quality improvement is going, how our data is going, what tools we've developed to be able to monitor, sharing those tools around, and assisting more than one agency to really get a start on this. Our hope is that those who have been involved in cohort 1 might be willing to be a bit of a lead with those network coaching opportunities. We will continue to do the education and training, so there will be opportunities to do the Foundations of QI, which is the IDEAS program. We will be doing some change management, and this time around we're going to be doing some governance and board training as well. We will do some experience-based design, and then we will be helping people to get ready to perhaps apply to an advanced learning through IDEAS, and they're offering a number of those across the province, but we would like to help agencies to be able to get ready for that. That's a much more intensive look at quality. The people who will be involved in that will come out as people who not only can do quality in their agency, but can develop new opportunities to do quality work, share that expertise more broadly. And then the Institute for Health licenses for self-learning will be able to support some of those as well. The access and the general sector support, part of that will be through connecting through IDEAS and also through the community of practice and being able to speak with one another, to pose questions, to offer supports, offer resources that we all can have a look at. We will continue to do quality improvement and data webinars, and we'll let you know well in advance when those are going to be and hope that you'll be able to join us. And again, the collaborative membership through COP, as well as helping people to be part of an advanced learning and become more adept at doing quality. Oh, are we paused? No. Hopefully everyone can still hear us.
Sorry, folks. It looks like somehow our screen's gotten paused here, so we're trying to unpause it. There we go. Back online.
So the areas that we, and this is I know a busy slide, and it was delightful to watch Jenna make this for us, all color-coded, of course. So the intent here to show for you is the different stages that people might be, or agencies might be at in terms of their quality improvement. The exploration is those who are still, they have a number of strengths, they're interested, they're curious, but they may not have the skills and ability nor the data to be able to really think about how they could improve what it is they're offering to clients. So we will be doing some work with that group, and that would be webinars, that would be general coaching, and that will be sharing on the COP and all the resources that are available, also connecting agencies that are doing similar work. Those who are at installation, and again, we will actually ask you in the application to think about where you fit along this continuum. So in installation, this is people who've got some strength around quality improvement. They may have started to do that. They're asking some questions. They might be doing a little bit of work and looking at what clients are telling them or what they're noticing. But they may need some assistance with getting that data together in a more consolidated kind of way and really understanding what the data is saying to them and how they might make some improvements, and then to track that and look at the changes that they've made. Those in implementation, again, have some interest and lots of interest in quality improvement. They may not be, they may not have expertise at this point. They may be gathering some data, but they're not getting it in a timely way, or they're not sure what it is the data is saying to them, and our coaches would be able to help with that. And then there's a group that are in adoption who are superstars. They're already doing quality improvement. They have an infrastructure in place to support that. And we're really hoping to hear from that group as well through the COP, to be willing to share some of the resources and the learnings that they've done. And we all aspire to be in adoption. So you can see through this table, there's a number of activities that we'll be doing along the way. And, our intention is to, have all of us thinking about quality as an important part of the work that we do each day. Go ahead.
So one thing that I think is important to highlight for this round, because it's a little bit different than our previous round of coaching, so I think it bears some explanation. People may be most familiar with the project coaching curriculum, because this was really the main focus last year. So supporting particular agencies or teams to walk through a project from start to finish. So these were problems usually that were identified as being important to an agency or to a team. We had everything from long wait times for service to challenges with documentation, and so everything in between, but sort of a self-identified challenge that we were coaching through the model for improvement. So again, we're going to be offering that type of coaching this round, and that's for a particular project, problem, or opportunity that you'd like to work through with some coaches. And as Debbie mentioned, we have some particular areas that we hope to focus this round, and we'll talk about those in more detail in a moment. Also, as Debbie highlighted, we're offering general coaching and capacity building for maybe, again, to folks who aren't ready to take on a project or may not know where to start, but would still like to help build that infrastructure and capacity to do quality improvement. If you have some particular goals in mind or things in mind that you think would help you to get there, we can possibly help with some coaching. The big difference this round is the network or group coaching. And so this is really neat. We are hoping to support a couple of groups, each cohort of coaching, that are made up of multi-agencies in a region or around a particular issue that want to come together and tackle something as a collaborative. And so, we're thinking in particular, maybe it's around the new HQO quality standards for major depression or schizophrenia. Maybe there's something there. Or maybe there's another local challenge. Maybe there's something related to the OCAN or OPOC. But something that you'd like to tackle as a group of agencies to try and improve. And we'll try and coach you through that as well. The priorities for this round of E-QIP are really in four-part. And if you recall the first round of coaching, we left it very open for folks, for teams to identify whatever they thought was a priority or an issue to them. So we had huge varying projects. This round, in our conversations with Health Quality Ontario and the ministry, we'd like to try and maybe focus a little more on some priorities that align with other priorities in this system. So specifically, we're seeking projects that are related to HQO's quality standards, those newly developed standards that are coming out or have been launched to the sector. So looking at those as possible projects. Also, looking for projects that may relate to timely access, because that's a big challenge across the province, is folks getting timely access to the right service when they need it. So maybe there's opportunities to support projects in that area. Also, looking to support projects that are related to client experience and trying to improve that experience of receiving service. And there's lots of provincial data sources out there, things like the OPOC, that maybe we can help folks take that data and use it for the purpose of improvement. And lastly, looking at client goal planning and improving client outcomes. And specifically, a data source that may be of relevance there could be the OCAN, and how, again, it's something that many of us do. How can we use that data for the purpose of improvement? Because that's really what it's all about, I think. This, again, is not to say that you can't submit an application related to something else, but those areas that I mentioned will be the priorities when we decide to accept applications. So what you can expect. Well, Debbie did a really great job of mentioning the different stages of QI readiness, and really it's our goal as a coaching team to help agencies and teams progress along this continuum, this quality improvement readiness continuum, with the hopes that the entire sector eventually reaches that full adoption phase of readiness, where quality improvement is just part of how we work. It's part of our the fabric of our culture as a sector. So we're really trying to help support the sector to get to that point. And in our coaching, particularly the project coaching, we work through the model for improvement. And this is just a great visual of what that looks like. So we help teams prepare to do quality improvement, thinking through exactly what the problem is or the opportunity is that they'd like to address, defining that problem, trying to get down to the root cause or causes in most cases as to why that problem is happening, and develop an aim statement, what we'd like to achieve, by when and by how much, what it is we really want to accomplish if we look to improve. We then focus on everybody's favorite part, measurement and charting, and really trying to capture what we do and whether a change that we make is actually an improvement or not. We help folks develop change ideas to address the problem that we've identified, and then use rapid cycle testing through PDSA cycles to test our changes to see what happens before just implementing or adopting. And then lastly, we want to sustain whatever changes we make, whatever improvements we make, we want to sustain that and hopefully spread and share that with others, so that as a sector we can learn from what works and what doesn't work, and together hopefully improve. Really briefly share just a couple of project examples from first round that will hopefully make this a little bit more concrete and a little more real for folks who may not be familiar with E-QIP. And these are just two of many, and all of our projects are on our websites, and there's webinars there, and we'll share those links with you at the end. This one's from Jean Tweed, and what the team at Jean Tweed noticed was that it was difficult for a lot of their clients, women with substance and or mental health challenges, to access traditional office-based primary care services. So through working through the model for improvement with our coaches, the team was able to actually accomplish an aim to have 100% of Pathways clients, so those clients that they're supporting, those women, have access to primary care through the Ontario Telemedicine Network. So this was a really big accomplishment, if you think about it, for folks who were struggling prior to this project to access these very important primary care services. Another project comes from CMHA Middlesex, where wait times were a big challenge for their case management programs. And I know this is a common challenge for many of us. The team here found that 186 days was actually the average wait time from assessment to service initiation for case management, which is a heck of a long time if you're needing support rather immediately. So again, through working through the model for improvement, doing a quality improvement project with us, they're now at a place where their wait is under 14 days, which is a pretty huge improvement. And I'm sure the clients really have benefited from that. So all of the projects that we've supported up to this point, and in a lot more details, are available on our websites, and we've shared both the AMHO and CMHA Ontario website there. And hopefully that'll help inspire you to apply and get involved, because I think it's a really unique opportunity, again, to help support you in an area that you'd like to improve. And to do that, we have an application package which is available for you for coaching, and is due rather quickly on January 19th. And that's available at the link here as well and in the attachments to this webinar. So I'm going to ask Debbie to kind of walk us through very quickly the application package that you'll receive.
And again, if it would benefit you to have us chat with you over the telephone or assist with completing this form, Mike and or I are happy to do that, or we can connect you with one of the coaches if that's useful as well. So there's some pretty basic information on it that we need to know so we can get in touch with you. Are you affiliated with AMHO or the Canadian Mental Health or both? What is it you think you would like to have us help you with? And do you agree to share your progress with others through the community of practice? And part of what we're wanting to do that is the synergy that occurs when we're able to share lessons learned as well as lessons we wish we hadn't learned with each other so we can prevent that from happening again. So if this is something you'd like to do, how would you like us to help you with the process of learning? And again, some of that will depend on what stage you perceive your agency to be at, whether you're at exploration or installation or implementation. Perhaps if you're at adoption, we'd really like to hear from you as well, but perhaps for you to help us, so that we have these different options. And if you can just let us know which of those are of interest, whether it's a webinar, peer support, shared templates, those kinds of pieces. The resources that you are requesting, so whether it's a QI coaching or data coaching or both. Have you figured out the activity that you might like to be involved in? And if you have, we'd really like to hear that in question 1 there. What is the problem or the gap or the opportunity that you'd like to address? And if you can try to put that in words for us, that would be great. Do you have an idea about what changes may lead to an improvement? So have you done some thinking? Have you hypothesized or thought about potential things that might lead to some improvement? Because again, we'd like to go through the model, and that's where everything emerges, and we need to allow that to occur. But sometimes we have some preconceived notions as to what that might be, and as long as we're not holding on too tight to those in case they don't turn out to be the right answer, then we'd be pleased to hear about those. What resources help in advance to this activity that you might be able to initiate? And then is there any improvement expertise and or keenness at your service and that you might be able to assist with? So again, what domain would you like to be working in, and what has led to the focus? So sometimes there's a complaint, sometimes there's a noticing, sometimes there's a discussion with some other agencies that they have some interest in improvement in part of or something, a part of your service. So where did this idea come from, if you could let us know about that? And then we're going to ask you to complete the assessment form, which is on the following page. You'll see that in just a second, as to where you think you might be in terms of your quality improvement readiness, and then a signature of sorts. So here is the QI factor assessment, and there's just a bit of a definition here, a discussion about how it is you would complete that, but the meat of it is following here. It's a score of 1 to 5, I agree or I disagree, and it goes through organizational factors in terms of leadership, as well as alignment with your organization priorities. So the activity that you'd like to be doing, if it's way off in left field and nobody but one person wants to do it, perhaps that's not the best QI project to be working on. It's really nice if it's rooted in strategic direction and things you'd like to be doing. What resources you have available? Do you think that your organization is terrified of QI, or are they excited and wanting to be involved in? And how you might see yourself as being, what developmental stage, if we can call it that. So how long you've been thinking about this, and where are you at with that? The diversity of your team, it's always helpful to have multiple minds and not everybody who thinks the same way and says yes in the same way. Clinical partnerships, capacity for improvement, and then again, some of your team or project factors. So who's going to benefit from this? What's the complexity of it? Will it be something that will benefit those at the end, or the clients in particular? And do you have some thought about how you might sustain this activity? So, if we're all going to inherit $1 million and we want to figure out how to spend that, that may not be a sustainable piece, and therefore not a QI project. But if you're thinking about how you could improve wait times and or how you might implement the opioid or the depression or the depression standards, that's something that could be very important for your agency, and it would be something that you want to sustain over time as well.
And I'll just highlight too, if you don't know, if you're filling out that readiness assessment and you don't know the answers or aren't sure yet, that's okay too to say that you don't know. Some of the organizational factors, the earlier questions may be a lot easier to get a handle on and to get a sense of where you stand, but some of the project factors, it may be too early in your thinking through your project to know yet, and that's okay. The idea here is just to get folks thinking before we head down the road of doing a particular project. So we'd like to open it up to you. You've heard a lot about us talking, but we'd like to know from you, are there any questions you have about E-QIP in general or about how to get involved and apply? And it's okay, again, if you don't have those questions now, we can always email either Debbie or myself and we'll get right back to you or help you in your application. Jenna, is there any questions?
Is there a cost to the coaching? And no, there's not a cost to the coaching. We have been able to, through our partnerships, we've received funding through the Ministry of Health to offer these services. And so we would be coming to you and supporting you. There's not a cost to the agency. Now, when we think about that in terms of true costs, you will be dedicating some of your person resources to being involved in the process. We're not coming in and doing the project. We're doing it with you and supporting you and coaching you to do that. So there will be an investment of time with a benefit of gaining knowledge and competency in quality improvement and identification of data.
See, we have a question, how do you join E-QIP? Well, if you're interested in the coaching support, which we probably talked about the most in this webinar, it would be completing the application, which is in the link shared earlier, or it's attached to the attachments or handouts drop down on the GoToWebinar. But if you're interested in joining things like the community of practice, maybe coaching is not the right fit for you right now, or you're just interested in what we're doing generally, please, you can join the community of practice. And to do that, again, just either email Debbie or myself, and we'll make sure to connect you in there. As well, you can join our mailing list. We have an email list of newsletters, information, upcoming trainings, all of that fun and exciting stuff, and we can add you to that as well if you're interested. We'll be also doing periodic communications out to the sector about upcoming training sessions that are going to be happening, webinars that will be happening, all of that kind of stuff as well, and you can keep an eye out for that. So Christina is asking, if you have multiple partners involved in the project who are involved in different hospital systems, how would you recommend getting the QI readiness assessment done? Oh, great question, Christina. That's tough. If you're filling it out sort of on behalf of the group, you can either take one of two approaches, one being for yourself and your organization and the part of the project that you're responsible for, maybe filling it out from that perspective in terms of your QI readiness. If it's possible, the better option would be to get the group together maybe for a conversation to talk about as a collective and as a network, how do folks feel about their QI readiness and ability to take this on and sustain this project. Either one, but when you submit your application, if you could indicate from which perspective you're completing it, that would be helpful for us as well. And Debbie and I will be sure to follow up with you for more detail right away.
The other option, of course, Christina, would be to have a number of the agencies also complete it on their own and submit that as well. You know, if they're willing to be a part of the project, they may be willing to fill out that short little self-assessment, and that's useful too. So that's another option too. Great.
So a good question here from Karen. Very excited and I had some questions about the background of the different coaches in regards to matching the type of assistance offered, I guess, from coach to project. So I'll call upon the coaching team really briefly if you want to just give a little bit of more background about where you come from, some of your work. That might be helpful for folks. Maybe Abel, start with you.
Hi, my name is Abel, and I'm one of the data coach. So in terms of background, I do any data-related stuff, but previously I was involved in primary care as primary care sector as data management coordinator, dealing with decision support area as well. I was also dealing with family health teams and decision support similarly. So any data related, like data design, data analysis, generating any kind of knowledge, so I can help with that. Again, if you have any specific thing, we can discuss also in detail. Yeah.
Thanks, Abel. Kim?
Hello. So I'm Kim Elke, one of the quality improvement coaches. My background's in nursing. I've been a nurse for about 25 years, and my start was in the acute care sector, and for about the last 15 years, I've worked in the community sector with various positions with focus on mental health addictions, harm reduction. And I've been working in the QI sector at CMHA Kenora branch for about the last 3.5 years or so, and it's just been fascinating. And working with E-QIP, it's amazing the transparency of knowledge and letting go of intellectual leashes and innovation, and it's just been an amazing journey. So I'm looking forward to working with the new team in cohort 2.
Thanks, Kim.
I'm Laura, and I work at CMHA. My home branch is CMHA Nipissing, and I hold a quality improvement position at that branch office, and I have been for the last 3 or 4 years, I guess. I've been in mental health for 14 of those years, and I have thoroughly enjoyed working with. I've been working with over 10 projects last cohort in varying domains of quality improvement, and I'm looking forward to see what comes out of cohort 2.
Thanks, Laura.
Nicole?
Hi, I'm Nicole Adkin, and I come from Connects Ontario, and I've been there for approximately 10 years. My role at Connects Ontario is looking after all of the data of the mental health and addictions programming in the registry across Ontario. And I was part of cohort 1 with E-QIP as a data coach, and I'm looking forward to my journey as a QI coach going forward.
And last but not least, Anna.
Hi, my name is Anna McGimba. My home agency is CAMH. I'm new as a data coach for E-QIP. My background is 10 years within addictions. I come from CAMH and I worked with data, so my former position was an engagement coach, an engagement and support coach. So I work with systems, data systems, so I'm very familiar with all the tools that this sector really uses, so that's my experience.
Great, thanks. So hopefully that helps answer your question, Karen. Really a broad range of backgrounds and expertise, in folks from both clinical and administrative and data backgrounds, so real a mix here on the team.
And Karen, we'll also be having a look at the request from the agency with the application and helping to match the needs from our team to the project.
So we also had a question about French capacity on the team, and yes, we do have a French-speaking capacity on the team.
Petit peu.
Ideas training in Toronto. Somebody's asking if there's an ideas training booked in Toronto anytime soon. Not at the moment. We don't. We've been kind of holding off on booking most of the ideas training until we got a real sense of the interest and the need out there from folks. So If you're interested, please let us know and we can chat about that.
On the board for, so from Heather, I'm on the board for a ground root mental health and arts organization. Would that group be able to access the governance support? So the governance piece that we're planning will actually be an education session. We'll be offering those both in the north and the south, and those will be coming up. There will be one coming up in March. So I hope that what you will do is let us know about that interest, whether it's just through the application or sending Mike or I an email, and joining E-QIP, and you'll be able to get the information via our newsletters and our communique as well, because that training is available. If you're looking for something more formal in terms of coaching opportunity, then please put that in an application and send it in.
And Shauna, you've asked for the contact information for our coaches, so I've put those up on the screen, so hopefully you're able to see those. The slides as well are in the handout section, drop down there on the GoToMeeting menu bar, and all of the contact information for all of us is included there. So do one last call out if there's any other questions that folks have. Going once, going twice. And again, feel free to reach out to any of us at any time, particularly Debbie and myself. You know, we're here. We want to support folks in their applications or any questions that you have. Make sure you get access to the resources that you need. So please feel free to contact us at any time. We have recorded this webinar, and we'll be posting and sharing that with you as well. So if there's something you want to go back to or share with your colleagues, please feel free to do that. Okay, with that, I would just like to say thank you very much for joining us, and hopefully we'll see you as part of the next cohort of E-QIP projects, and we look forward to working with you.
Okay, thanks very much, everyone, and don't hesitate to email us. Bye for now.
Good job.